Oh, well, hello everybody. Danny back from Pecan Grove. I'm kind of by myself today. Miss Wanda is, she's on another endeavor, let's say. I'm here by myself today. And I want to take you guys along and show you a little bit about what I'm trying to accomplish today because technically, tomorrow, which would be Tuesday, be Tuesday. Today is Monday. I am trying my best to get things done ahead of all this weather that's supposed to be moving in. Now, it's supposed to be quite some nasty stuff. Next week, we're supposed to be down. They only got us for one day down in the 20s. The other days is in the mid 30s and up, which is going to be another cold snap for us here in the Deep South. But what I want to take you to do is I'm here in the garden today, trying to accomplish everything while the soil is still dry enough for me to be able to do it. Because if I wait and all this weather, we got rain all week, I'm looking at another week and a half, 2 weeks to get stuff done, and that's going to be too late here in the Deep South. So I'm going to turn around here and I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing and what the garden looks like, and kind of give you a little bit of a heads up about what's going on. So let's turn around here. Right now, we've got the, let me see if I can pull it up here. I don't know if you can see it any better, but we have those, the onions. They're coming up. They're okay. You know, they're not the best I've ever grown, but they're okay. But now you look over here. Look at this row of English peas here. See how green it is all the way down? All the way to the end down yonder is green English peas. It comes right on down here in front of me. Miss Faith did a really good job. And it goes from here, keeps on going. It's 300 feet of them. I don't know that we've ever planted a 300-foot row of English peas. But now what I've done is at the end of the onion row right here, it stops right there at that onion. I have started opening up a furrow all the way down. And I don't know how far I'm going to have to go, so I stopped at about 60 foot, I guess. Because what I have over here, okay, what we have here in the box is some potatoes. I cut these up days ago, and they are really, they've dried out really, really good. The sugars in them have turned to starch, and they have calcified over really good. So now I'm going to be taking these, and you can see the eyes are just now starting to swell up a little bit, getting ready to come out on them. I'm going to take these, and I'm going to come out here, and I'm going to start right here in this row right here, and I'm going to start planting them about every, I think this year, I'm going to go like every foot, maybe 12 inches apart, and see how they do. I usually put them a little further apart than that, but I think this year I'm going to do a little bit of experimenting. Now, guys, I don't have anybody here to help me. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to have to just come along here, and I'm going to have to just kind of put these potatoes in here, and I'm not going to be able to film all of it, but I'm going to kind of give you guys a little bit of a heads up as to what I'm doing here. Now, a lot of people say you don't have to turn the eyes up on them, that you can just leave them laying upside down like that, but all my life I've always kind of turn the eyes up on them like that. That's kind of how I'm going to plant them. And being I don't have anybody here to help me do any videoing, I'm going to have to do this, and then after I get it done, I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Finished finally. I just added 136 feet. There's a little bit of there's 30 feet up there, and then I added 106 foot right here on this part right here of potatoes. As you can see, I have them spaced out about 12 inches apart all the way down the whole row, and I've got about 15, maybe 20 little cuts left. This was 10 pounds of seed potatoes I bought. So 10 pounds of seed potatoes on 136 feet a row. Plus I could have probably went to 150. So I'm trying to keep up with these measurements. So when I buy 10 pounds of potatoes and I cut them up, I know about how far they'll go. So technically, I could have went 150 feet. It's just that I couldn't go any further on this row because we had French fingerlings. I started hitting them right there. And they should start coming back up once it warms up. I dug right here. I found a few of them right in here, all through here. So I know they're still in the ground there. And this row goes all the way back down. So this was a 300-foot row right here. Now, so I have 300, roughly 406 feet of row of potato now. So that's a lot of potatoes, guys. The next thing I need to do here is to get out here and start covering them up, because the clouds in the skies are kind of looking, kind of like looking really weird, like it might just start raining at any moment. It's in the 50s today. Not bad, actually pretty pleasant to do this type of work. So I'm fixing to get out here, I'm fixing to cover these up, and then I'm going to head over to the high tone, and I'm going to get something, a high tone we found in town today, and we're going to take a look at it, and we're going to see what we're going to do with that next. Well, guys, we're in the high tone here now. We were in town today, and we happened to look up on a shelf in one of the places there, and I want you guys to look at here. They had these nice onion sets, big bulbs on them, not little old bitty things. These are the yellow Granix onions by Bonnie Plant. Several years ago, Wanda and I got these things in February and planted them, and I want you guys to know something. They made the biggest and prettiest onions. Now, we're going to be planting some of them today, but while we were there, I'm going to show you something else we got here. Look at this. We got us some more white seedless grapes. Guys, look at this. $6.88 for each one of these. And then Miss Wanda, look what she got over here. She got her 4 or 5 new rose bushes. Different colors, the fragrant ones. She was going to dig them up at Deep South, and she said, you know what, I'm just going to go buy me some new ones and just leave them for the next people. So we have these we've got to plant. And I want to show you something I learned today. I'm always learning, and I like to share what I learn. This here was one of my broccoli plants that I had left, that I planted, and I took that plant and I laid it down like a tomato plant, and then I let it curl up because it done got tall and spindly. I did not know that if you laid it in the ground, it would grow roots along the stem, just like a tomato plant does. So from now on, when my plants get tall and spindly, I am not going to worry about these things because they will make roots. Look at that, right along that stem. I had to try it to know it, and I'm showing it to you guys. It will work. Okay, we fixing to get ready here. I heard Miss Wanda coming back up. Maybe she can do some filming. We fixing to get ready to plant some of them onions. Alright guys, that's what I was telling you about. Look at the size of these. Isn't that, I mean, these are nice size onions. Beats the heck out of the stuff we've been getting. I mean, now granted there's not as many in the, probably not as many in a bundle, but I'll tell you what, these are better than any we've been buying. That's well, that's a little close. Let me move it over a little bit. Dad, I mean, I'm well pleased with this. I mean, this is.
Yeah, we don't usually plant these this late, so.
Yeah, we don't usually.
No, we've done it one time before. And
I told them earlier. I said we did this once before, and it turned out really well. And they were big onions like this, so it's not like these things we've been getting that the biggest one in the pack, is like this here, and this is the littlest one in the pack here. So these Bonnie plants really come through on this and done a really nice job. it don't take a lot of room for these. I'm just amazed at.
We'll see in a couple of 3 months what it looks like.
Well, yeah, and if they make, they make, and if they don't,
Green onions.
we got some pretty onions. But because we had good success with it once before, we felt like it was worth trying again. What I want to do is I want to see how these compare to these others that we got from Hall's Tool. I want to see how they compare. Now these are being planted. Let's see. We planted Hall's Tools the first weekend in December.
Yeah.
This is the February the 10th. So this is going on the second weekend in February. So let's see how these do compared to the Hall's Tool ones. At the end, I'd really like to know. Now we're not worrying about the lettuce and stuff being in here because the lettuce is all going to come out pretty quick. It won't take it too long to get big, and once it gets big, we'll be pulling it out. You know, go ahead eating it, and that'll open the rest of this bed up to so the onions will have plenty of room. So that's one reason we're not really worrying about it too bad. And then we also have the onion chives right here.
And we got another one for down yonder.
Yeah, we have another one for down yonder. We sure do. Okay, you got that in there, and I'm kind of wondering, should I come back and like put an onion here and here, being the lettuce is going to come out? I don't think it'll be a problem. Oh, there's my copper I put around that. I wondered what that was sticking in my hand, and I'm like, what is that sticking me in the hand? Yeah, I'm kind of curious as to seeing how these are going to do.
You've got copper in these over here, so maybe you should take some copper and put in these. See what happens. You have one by the...
I have one by the grapevine right there. It's supposed to take care of about a 3-foot radius, so...
Well, the 2 or 3 around it might.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll just kind of see how it's doing there. Now, I don't know how many onions is in this pack here. I'm going to leave space down here because we're going to put the other one of those onion chives on the end down here. We have all of them in one bed here. We got 20 onions in this bed here. Now, I have an option here. I can either turn around and I can come in the middle of these beds and put the onions out here in the center of these, because I really believe the English peas will come out before the onions will.
Oh, sure.
I would think they would, because when we take the onions out around May.
English peas are over by May.
They're over by April usually.
Yeah, sometime in April, but at least by May.
So I wouldn't be hard pressed if I went ahead and put these down the middle of both of these Vego beds here.
Yeah.
I think we would be okay. So let's do that. Well, what we ended up with was 43 onions out of that bundle. Miss Wanda's got, I don't know, 6 or 8 little teeny weeny ones that was left in the bottom of it, which I was going to throw them away, but she said no, she wanted them to make green onions with, I suppose, because they probably won't never make a bulb as little as they are this late in the year. But there was only 43 of them that was big enough that I felt like to plant, which to me, about 50 in a bundle is what you get, so that's pretty close to about what the 50 should have been, because some of these were big as your thumb. You know, they were really big. So I'm really impressed with the bunny onions so far. We're going to see what they do this year and how they make, and we'll take y'all along on the journey as we go. I'm just curious. We just happened to find them up on a shelf in town when we was in town today, and I told Wanda, I said they had 2 boxes of them. They had the yellow granics, the Texas 1015s, and one more. I don't remember.
Georgia sweet onion.
The Georgia sweet
That's
onion.
what we got.
No, this ended up being the Texas yellow granics.
Did you get the wrong one? We wanted the Georgia sweets.
I know we wanted the Georgia sweets, but that was in the box, and I picked it up. They're all Vidalias, okay? They just put different names on them. They're all a Vidalia onion. They're all a big sweet onion.
Yeah.
They just can market them better if they call them under different names. But we're going to see how they do, because we don't have any of the yellow granics planted. Now, we planted one from Hall's Tools several years ago from seed that turned out to be fantastic. And I don't remember which one it was. I don't remember the name of it. It's right on the tip of my tongue. But we're probably going to try, we're just going to try the next year to do a better job of planting our own onion from seeds. Because the only problem with that is here in the Deep South, you have to start like 12 weeks ahead of time planting the little seeds to get your onions ready to plant in the ground by the 1st of November.
So you're talking September.
It's so hot here when we do it that it's so hard to get motivated to plant onions at that time of the year, you know. But we're going to have to just do a better job. I mean, that's all there are to it, because buying these onions from these companies just ain't working out like they used to. So.
And what about your potatoes?
My potatoes that I got in the garden up there, I'm going to be curious to see if the ones that we went through and hoed the tops off of, if they actually are going to come back or not. If they come back, then we have a head start. If they don't, then I guess you might say worst case scenario would be that we have little round potatoes under the soil and they're still good. I mean, not going to complain about it, because right now, I think I mentioned in the video to y'all, we have 406 feet of row of potatoes right now. We have one 300-foot row and then a 106-foot row. So we got 406 feet row of potatoes. Now, not all of them are the red Lesotas. Some of them are the French fingerlings. Some of them are the red Lesotas that we've saved seed from. We're gonna have taters, I hope. So, hope y'all enjoyed kind of hanging around with us today. Let you show you what we're trying to do in between the rain, the freezing temperatures, this intense heat. Today is 55 degrees is the highest it got today. Tomorrow it's going to be 70 something. The next day is going to be 70 something. Up in the high 70s. And then we're going to drop back down to 50 something again. And then we're going to plunge next Monday all the way down to 20 degrees. So it's kind of tough on the cell structure of these plants to try to adjust to what's going on in the atmosphere. And that's not as drastic in the high tunnel here as it is out in the field, but nevertheless, it is a challenge for the plants. So, all right, I got to get out of here, get a few other things done before it gets too late in the afternoon. And thank you guys once again for staying with us at Pecan Grove.
Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Oh, wow. Now this bed pretty much is done except for some onions. So we'll be replanting it soon. This bed has mainly onions and the garlic. And one of my flowers is still hanging in there. So it'll be replanted soon. This bed has really done the best. The onions are doing fantastic. The carrots are doing great. But these carrots are not going to be near that big. Good size, but not that big. Look at there. Decent carrots. So we're going to be taking these carrots out shortly. These are multiplying onions, and they seem to be doing really well. And the cauliflower is hanging in there. Look at there. We've covered it up. It's doing good. And I planted my little onions that Danny said may not do anything in the back side of this. We're going to see what happens to them.